Massage and Body Works Jacksonville. Let's talk about how to burn fat. Don't lose weight to get healthy. You have to first get healthy to lose weight. Because your weight is a symptom of unhealthy body, losing weight is actually very unnatural to the body. The body doesn't like to lose weight. It goes against its purpose to survive, doesn't like to lose anything. The weight is the tip of the iceberg. The real thing is something that I'm going to show you. The reason has to do with a very specific hormone that's holding down the metabolism. There are two sets of hormones that make you gain weight, and hormones that help you lose weight. Most mainstream advice focuses on the calories, but they ignore the hormone triggers instead. They try to stimulate the metabolism. They try to give you an appetite suppressant. They are trying to do some type of trick. To trick your metabolism to some exercise, but that is never going to work. Now I'm going to show you the secret, but I need your full attention. If you check back it right now because this is vital. The hormone that stops you from losing weight is called insulin. A lot of people know this as relating to diabetes. But it has another function, a huge function. And it is the hormones that puts fat not only on your body, but mainly your midsection. It also prevents you from losing weight. It's called the fat storage hormone. And here's what people don't realize: in the presence of it, even a tiny little bit of all fat burning hormones are shut down. What does that mean? It means that if you were to consume a half glass of juice, glass of wine, a bagel, even a piece of fruit, if you have a problem with insulin hormone, you are not going to lose weight for the next 28 hours. When you see someone with belly fat, you can be 100% sure that person has too much insulin. So the insulin goes up, a person gains weight. When the insulin goes down, they lose the weight. Let's just look at this book called Guidance Physiology. The authority medical book in every medical school. All aspects of fat metabolism are greatly enhanced in the absence of insulin. So we need to create an absence of insulin to lose weight. They used on the information on insulin. You can predict what diet is going to work and which one is not. So if you took the Atkins diet, or Weight Watchers, or paleo or vegan, or ketogenic, the question is that, does any of these lower insulin? Those are the ones that are going to work. Insulin is the switch that determines whether you burn fat or you make fat. The next question is, what lowers insulin? Here are the things. Number 1, carbohydrates. Now you probably already know this, that low carb diets are very healthy. Want to cut the hidden sugars out. That does include the breads, pasta, cereal, crackers, biscuits, waffles, pancakes, muffins, juice, alcohol flavored, yogurts, and fruits. Most people know that, some people don't. Number 2, avoid combining protein with sugar. If you were going to go to a restaurant and order a breaded piece of meat, or maybe it's a hot and sweet sour chicken. You know, from a Chinese restaurant, or like a hamburger with the bun, or a hamburger with the fries, or hamburger with the Coke. That will greatly spike insulin way more than if you eat these separated. Number 3, and this is one that people don't realize, lean low-fat proteins trigger insulin more than fattier proteins. If you were going to buy like a burger, like some burger meat, and you had 95% versus 85% and there's more fat, I would go for the fatty or meat because fat tends to buffer insulin. Lean protein, specifically protein powders, like whey protein, that will spike insulin more. That's the new one. Large amounts of protein convert to insulin, so the ideal amount of protein is between 3 to 6 ounces. Next one, MSG, or monosodium glutamate. What is that? That is a chemical that enlarges your taste buds, to make the food taste more savory, to make it more delicious, and it really is. All the fast food places have MSG in their food. Peruvian chicken, they put MSG, like a ton of it. And so there's MSG in so many foods in the grocery store. But here's the problem: it spikes insulin by 200%. This food, it tastes really good. But then, all of a sudden you notice next day you just gained a bunch of weight, because it spikes insulin. Next one is stress. Adrenal body type is the one with the belly fat, and that's triggered by cortisol. That's a stress hormone. But here's the thing, cortisol doesn't increase the belly fat directly. It works through insulin, so stress increases insulin. And lastly, if you eat too frequently, like 5 to 6 times a day, versus 2 or 3 times a day, that's going to spike insulin. Why? Because eating in general increases insulin. It doesn't even matter what you eat, it's spiking insulin. Let me show you what that is. It's called insulin resistance. Insulin has become dysfunctional, it's become damaged to the point where it doesn't work anymore. The body is resisting it. Because there's too much of it, so it blocks it. People with insulin resistance have 5 to 7 times more insulin than normal people. If you were to test someone of insulin resistance, they might have normal blood glucose, but they have very high insulin levels. But the doctors never check that. You would have to test a fasting insulin test. Not a fasting glucose test, completely different. And insulin resistance is the pre-diabetic state. But a lot of times it will not show up on normal tests, until it's too late to get you become a diabetic. Now let me show you the symptoms of insulin resistance. Number 1, belly fat. Despite how many sit-ups you do, you cannot lose your belly fat no matter what. Number 2, you get plateaued just by eating healthy. Number 3, when you eat carbohydrates you feel better. It reduces your stress, you become less cranky. And number 4, you crave sugar and carbs. Number 5, a need for a nap after lunch. Number 6, brain fog, dementia, absent-mindedness. You start lacking the clarify and focus, especially when you don't eat. Number 7, worse eyesight. Especially as the day progresses, it's like you're at night, your vision is worse. I mean, think about a diabetic. A diabetic, they go blind. Why? Because the blood sugars are needed to be normalized to actually feed the eye. So since in some resistance is the pre-diabetic state, you could have vision problems. Not satisfied after you eat. You need a little something sweet after you eat. Why? Because the cells are insulin resistant, they're blocking insulin. And so you can't get the fuel in the cell. The cells are starving, yet you gain only this way you become fatter. Yet you're starving to death. Insulin creates a lot of problems. Now there are also dangerous long-term side effects of too much insulin, as well as heart disease, diabetes. As you might already know, a fatty liver comes from too much insulin. Especially the person doesn't eat or drink alcohol. It's coming from the insulin part. High blood pressure is too much insulin. That's why when you actually fix the insulin issue, the blood pressure comes down. High cholesterol. Because insulin converts sugar into cholesterol and triglycerides. Stroke has been connected to high levels of insulin. Dementia is little plaquing in the brain that stops the brain from working. And Alzheimer's amyloid plaques, it's called, that comes from too much insulin. So you can see that insulin is the common denominator for so many health problems that go beyond just belly fat. What do we do now? The strategy is we're not trying to treat a disease. We're not trying to treat weight loss. Medicine, healthcare, really is the management of symptoms. They are not getting you healthy. What's missing in healthcare is the health part. We want to get you healthy, then lose the weight. We want to get insulin system healthy. We want to get the hormones healthier, so you have a chance to lose weight. Please don't forget to subscribe, like and share.